I want to share with you a big secret today, and it's not one that a lot of you are going to want to hear. But at the same time, it's so important that I have to tell you. That secret is this. What if I told you that every single day kids go to school, they become less intelligent? Now, how could that be possible? When kids go to school and learn things, right? And they calculate more knowledge. So if anything, should be getting smarter. How could they possibly getting less intelligent? What am I talking about? Well, I do have to illustrate that to you today. Before I turned 14, I was a kid that did not know what we wanted in life. Usually when you go 5, 6 years old and asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? I say an astronaut, a businessman. I wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player. And since I had no idea about what I wanted to be when I grew up, I just listened to my parents almost 100% of the time. I trusted that they knew what was best for me. My parents wanted me out of typical parent when I was trying school, keep up with grades, get up exercise, one every few years. I tried to do everything they asked me, except the problem was I wasn't even that good at school. I was terrible at science, couldn't get a 5 paragraph essay, my life depended on it. And to this day, I still think I'm the only Asian kid in the world that doesn't understand math. I really do. But when I turned 14, it all changed. I was no longer a hot air balloon floated around the space, supersonic jet flying toward my destination at 50,000 miles an hour, or how fast things go. This change all started when I received an envelope in the mail. It was an invitation, not a birthday party, I didn't get any of those, not to the playground, but to a business plan competition down in Boston. And I was curious. I was just so curious that I had to go. The program director explained to us that over 5 months, we would form a team, develop a business idea, and present the idea with panel strategists who would be judging us how the suits are, how good business ideas were. A long story short, those 5 months, I formed a team, developed an idea, and we actually ended up winning a competition and taking home check. And what an event! Sparked my interest for going to more and more of these competitions. Over the next 2 years of my life, I actually win dozens and dozens of competitions, and I was winning almost all of them. And I realized that I like to go in them so much, not just because I like winning them, but also because I had an unrealized passion. And that was a passion for great things. Because the one thing that my team would do differently from our other competitors every single time was that everyone would go up and present the idea in the PowerPoint. We would go to Home Depot, buy supplies, actually build the idea what they were talking about. And judges were just so blown away with the fact that once teenagers could go and create things to make prototypes and minimum valuable products. And we won almost every single competition just because the judges loved we had a gun and executed it. At one of these competitions, I met a short-tempered, middle-aged, polished guy named Frank. And if he's here today, I better run after this. He came up to us, took a look at the prototype, and said, I can help you guys turn it into a real company. Think about that. Isn't it cool? We're 16 years old. We're going out into the world, creating a real hardware technology startup. At first we were like, time to be Steve Jobs, let's go build Apple, dropping out of school now. But we quickly realized not that easy. Don't drop out on us. You're really sure you're a good idea, but we realized that the first part of building a great company is to assemble a great team. And as students, we couldn't go to the bars to network, and networking events for those. So we went to our school, set up a little presentation in our auditorium, in which we would present our idea And hopefully kids will join our team. We sent our invitation to our entire school. At first thing we noticed, almost all ones show up, no more interest. And those who did show up spread rumors around the school. Throughout that week, we made fun of our ideas from being wannabe massacres. What's funny is, the next week after, we took the exact exam presentation and did it at our elementary school. Kids who were city younger, which response was phenomenal. These kids were throwing their lunch money at us, asking if us buy a prototype. They were asking for free money evaluation with no you guys watching Shark Tank. But it was amazing that these kids even knew terms like this and when they were too young to even properly pronounce some of these words. And that's just inspired me too much. And I think it's what education system has done. Over these 5 to 6 years in the education system, this grade 2 children has turned diligent and unwilling to think outside of the box. Let's go back to the secret I was talking about. How is it possible that school is making kids less intelligent? The fact is, there is so much more than just one type of intelligence. While school can make you more academically intelligent, it can teach you physics, algebra, calculus, diminishing the children's creative intelligence. It is teaching them to think in a certain way, to go down a certain path of life, telling them, go to high school, get a diploma, go to a good college, find a stable job. If you don't do that, you won't be successful. And if that was true, how am I even standing here today? How did I, a straight C student, start a technology company at the age of 16? And how is my company, which just featured on the Wall Street Journal last week, doing better than some of the companies started by Harvard or Stanford graduates? It must be something that can be measured by academic intelligence alone. So here's what I believe. Parents, teachers, educators, you have the power to influence and inspire youth. The fact is, there are way too many people out there right now who are obsessed with telling kids to go to college to find a good job and to be successful. They are not enough. Her telling kids explore more possibilities to become entrepreneurs. And if there's one message that I want parents, kids, and all of you to take away from what I said here today, is that you can open your own doors, that you can stray away from the conventional, limited, and narrow path that education sets us upon. You can diverge and create your own future. You can start your own companies, you can start your own non-profits. You can create, you can innovate. And if there's one message I want to take away from everything I've said, isn't this? No one has ever changed the world by doing what the world has told them to do. Thank you.